DPH made me run miles without shoes. Train wreck trip report. So basically I had another psychosis from DPH. I took 650 milligrams with a can of beer, but I also had nutmeg, caffeine, nicotine and weed earlier in the day. And the day before I had 400 milligrams of DXM with 350 milligrams of DPH and a whole nutmeg, so those were still in my system. Long story short, for some reason I decided to leave my house without a shirt on and wearing slippers on my feet, and I started jogging. I was new in the area, so I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I was hearing voices and I don't remember what any of them said, but I do remember somehow being convinced that there was a bounty on my head and whoever catches me first would get £10,000 reward. So I was pretty much scared of every person I saw, but I was more scared of the voices that I couldn't hide from. I was lost in some streets, so I was jumping over people's fences into their gardens. At one point I hallucinated that I was at my parents' house, but they were being held hostage and they would be shot if they let me in. The slippers on my feet were getting in the way, so I just left them and started jogging on concrete barefoot. I got some old guy to come out of his house and asked him to call the police so they can lock me up to protect me. He was taking so long to call them that I started thinking that he is just stalling until the voices in my head found me so that he can share the bounty with them for capturing me, so I carried on jogging. I couldn't find my way out of the street. It felt like I was running in circles. Some guy in the car stopped when he saw me to ask if I'm alright. I couldn't trust him, though he could have been one of them, so I lied and said yeah, I'm alright. I then passed two guys chatting and I thought they were going to shoot me when I ran past them, so I was begging them not to shoot me and carried on jogging. I decided to ditch the street and ran into the countryside. I climbed on some big tree and hid there for a bit, until the voices found me again. While I was up there they planted landmines on the ground, so I literally thought I could explode at any second. I then was stepping on thorns and stingy nettles. It hurt, but I didn't care. If the voices caught me they would torture me way worse. At one point I fell knee-deep into mud which felt like quicksand. I kept on jogging, feeling severely dehydrated and tired, but I didn't care. I had superhuman stamina. When the police finally caught me they said they got a phone call of me running, and 3 hours later I was still running. Eventually the police finally caught me, handcuffed me into an ambulance. My feet were dirty and bleeding. The hospital said I went through 3 to 4 layers of skin on my feet. The hospital staff thought I was cutting myself, but I was just covered with cuts from all the thorns I went through. Too long, didn't read. DPH made me hear voices that made me run for the hills filled with stingy nettles. Never again am I gonna abuse any deliriant that makes you lose control, cause this is a new low for me. I am lucky to not have infection on my feet.
Now that's real delirium OP. Hope you are doing fine now.
Maybe space the trips out more. I don't know, I've been there before but with Ambien. Snorted 50 milligrams equals psychotic episode, so I can't fault you at all. Hope you feel better, brother. Give your brain some time to recover.
Nanomachines!
I am slowly healing, however it's been 5 days and it still hurts to walk. The hospital said I damaged my liver and kidneys, so they wanted me to stay there, but after 2 nights there I just wanted to leave because I left my house door unlocked and all they did was pump me with fluids and it was painful to walk to the bathroom all the time, so I wanted them to stop. I had DPH psychosis twice before, but never outdoors. Good thing it wasn't during the night. At one point I was being chased by travelers because I was running across their cabbage field. I thought they were mad at me because I stole their tea bag. I am lucky to be alive. I could have ended up dead in a ditch somewhere. Never in my life did I think DPH was capable of doing something like this. Be careful, people, don't binge it and mix with other drugs, especially caffeine and alcohol.
Holy shit OP, I am amazed that you ended up being fine. That could have gotten real ugly. Some of you dudes here just can't help yourselves, lol.
Damn hell of a report, thanks for sharing it with us.
You'll get better. I got knee and multiple feet wounds on the road about a month ago as well. They are still not closed, though I can somewhat move freely.
I am tripping face, just sending you some love, homie. feel like me and you keep the sport alive pretty well. You are in my thoughts. 8.5 ounce shrooms and 1000 milligrams of DXM. Feel better, delinquent. Less than 3.
Remember me!
Thanks bro, I think I'll just stick to doing DXM and shrooms as well. I still take DPH daily but only 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams for hay fever and sleep. I might still do like 300 milligrams to 400 milligrams after a large DXM dose cause that's the only time I really get visuals from it. I think I'm done with recreational doses of DPH, tropane alkaloids, and benzylamine. I'm glad I've tried them but there is nothing more to be gained from these drugs apart from damage to your body and mind. Y'all should think of quitting this shit as well. Learn from my mistakes, don't wait until you learn the hard way like I did.
Good call man. You know it makes sense mate.
Jesus OP, that sounds like one hell of a time. I feel lucky that my delusional self is just as lazy as regular self.
I'm glad you made it out my friend. Have a comic for your harrowing experience.
You legend.
I rate this 10 out of 10. Kek.